Good afternoon, dear students. Last class, we learnt about after hanging a hanged soldier Mangal Pandey on 29th March 1857. So, how the other the sepoys, Indian soldiers, they were reacted to their higher officers heard. Not only that, even some of the sepoys of the regiment at Meerut, so they were refused to do the army drill by using the new cartridge. So why? Because they were suspected of being coated with the fat of cows and pig. So because of this, about 85 sepoys were dismissed from their service and even sentenced to 10 years in jail for disobeying their higher officers. So this was happened on 9th May 1857. And also the sepoys of Meerut rode all night of 10th May to reach Delhi, and they were all gathered around the walls of the Red Fort where actually the Bahadur Shah Jafar he was lived. And the soldiers they were demanded to meet him, but the emperor was not quite willing to change the mighty British power. But even though the soldiers they were persisted in, and they were forced their way into the palace and proclaimed Bahadur Shah Jafar as their leader. See, Bahadur Shah Jafar he was actually one of the old age one, and even though he had to accepted the demand of the soldiers, and afterwards he wrote letters to all the chiefs and rulers of the country to come forward and organize a conference of Indian states to fight against the British people. See, the single step taken by Bahadur Shah had great implications. The Mughal dynasty had ruled over a very large part of the country. Then most smaller rulers and chieftains controlled different territories on behalf of the Mughal ruler, threatened by the expansion of British rule. Many of them felt that if the Mughal emperor could rule again, they too would be able to rule their own territories once more under the Mughal authority. The British had not expected this to happen. They thought the disturbance caused by the issue of the cartridge would die down. They were thought like that. ಬಹಳ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ವಿಚಾರ, ಇದೇನು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇಶ್ಯೂ, ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ದಮನಗೊಳಿಸಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ Bahadur Shah Jafar's decision to bless the rebellion changed the entire situation dramatically. So because of one decision which was taken by the Bahadur Shah, so it was changed the entire situation dramatically. Often, when people see an alternative possibility, they feel inspired and enthused. It gives them the courage, hope, and confidence to act also. Now, let us discuss about how the rebellion spreads. How the rebellion spreads. See, after the British were routed from Delhi, So there was no uprising for almost a week. Almost a week. So there was no uprising. It took that much time for news to travel. Almost 1 week. Then a spurt of mutinies began. After a week, what happened? A spurt of mutinies began. A regiment after regiment mutinied and took off to join other troops at nodal points like Delhi, Kanpur, and Lucknow. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳ 1 ವೀಕ್ ನಂತರ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನ್ಪುರ ಲಕ್ನೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಸಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಈ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೌನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಲೇಜಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ರೋಸ್ ಅಪ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ರೆಬಿಲಿಯನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಸ್, especially zamindars and chiefs who were prepared to establish their authority and fight the British. So afterwards, what happened is, even the people of the towns and villages, so they were also arose up in rebellion and rallied around local leaders. Many of the people, even in towns and villages, and even the zamindars and chiefs who were prepared to establish their authority and fight the British. So they were also ready to fight against the British, even the zamindars and local chiefs who were prepared to establish their authority. So they were also fight the British. You know that Nana Sahib was adopted son of the Peshwa Bajirao. So Nana Sahib was adopted son of Maratha Peshwa Bajirao, who lived near Kanpur. See, gathered armed forces and expelled the British garrisons from the city. Understood now? So, Nana Sahib was the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao. So, was lived near Kanpur. He was actually gathered armed forces and expelled the British garrisons from the city. And he was proclaimed himself Peshwa. Was that no? The adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao was the Nana Sahib. See, when the Nana Sahib, he was proclaimed himself Peshwa, and he was declared that he was a governor under Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar. So when he was proclaimed himself as a Peshwa, and afterwards he declared that he was a governor under Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar. In Lucknow, Birjis Kader. In Lucknow, Birjis Kader. In Lucknow, Birjis Kader. See, he was actually the son of the disposed Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. He was the son of Wajid Ali Shah. Was actually disposed from the East India Company. The Nawab was disposed from. So dear students, so even though the Birjis Kader was the son of the deposed Nawab Wajid Ali Shah from Lucknow, So he was also proclaimed like Nana Sahib only, and he too acknowledged the suzerainty of Bahadur Shah Jafar. He was accepted the supreme power of the Bahadur Shah Jafar, and his mother Begum Hazrat Mahal took an active part in organizing the uprising against the British. So even his mother, Baziz Qadir mother, was actually Begum Hazrat. So she was also took an active part in organizing the uprising against the British. Then we all of you knows that in Jhansi, in Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai, who she was well known as Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai, was well known as Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai. See here, Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai, she was also joined the rebel sepoys. Understood now. So she was also joined the rebel sepoys and fought the British along the Tantia Topi. Along with Tantia Topi. So dear students, so actually Tantia Tope, he was the general of Nana Sai. You may getting confusion. Sir, who was this Tantia Topi? Tantia Tope, he was the general of Nana Sai. See, in the getting dear students, in the Mandla region of Madhya Pradesh,